on the bike racks. So it's a repeat of yesterday, except we don't have any sun to speak of. There we go. Hello, kids. Sorry, I'm rushing here to get going. Obviously. Come on. Good morning. How are you? Lots of playing Chiefs around here. There we go. Oh, and he tried to land on the knee wall there. That's gotta be, that's 01. Hello, gorgeous. So we're gonna try to make sure that we are again looking at traffic. Morning, Danny. Morning, Noel. Morning, again, Nikki. So that's 23 right there. Huh?
Quit arresting them birds.
Yeah, I know. Here it comes. Hello, beautiful. What? By the way, on wide angles, nobody can tell us anything about it. All right, so we got our kids here again on the bike rack. And we got Witchamahoosum 01 is on T3 up here. And this is 23 on the bike rack. Good morning, Atlantic. Morning, all. So if at some point I needed like just leave whatever the scope and go help manage traffic, then I'm going to do that, right? Because these guys yesterday were O1 was flying a little bit dangerous crossing the road yesterday morning. Right now it's pretty quiet, but later on it'll pick up. So depending on where they are and what they plan on doing, that may be the case. All right. So have not. I don't know. Haven't seen mom. Maybe mom's here somewhere. Maybe dad's here somewhere. Not sure. Okay. So it's great that they're over here on these racks. Love it. Problem is that then they cross the road. So if they would stay over here, that'd be terrific. They are active little kids. And I'm assuming that she's still up there somewhere. Where'd she go? Alright, so one has gone somewhere. I don't know where she's at. She was in the tree there, right next to me. She had moved, gone somewhere. Where did you disappear to? So this is 23 here on the ground. And back up onto the rack. Good morning, Charlie. Morning, Deborah. Danny. Morning, Freebie baby. Yeah, so 01 is around here. Summer 01 was on the... Oh, she flooded up. How nice. Good job. Oh, he did. Duh. There we go. There's a big boy. Right. Where do you think you're gonna go? He's getting a little bit of getting a little bit of a whistle now in his screech. It was a little bit squawky, and now it's getting a little bit of a. Right toward the end, there's a little bit of a pure tone. Too nice. Now, are you gonna show me where your sister went? Because I have no idea where she went. Right. All right, so it looks like he went over into that tree, flew across the lawn and not across the road, which is good. I'm gonna go look for 01. I'm not sure where she went. She was up in this tree here. She was over there on the bike racks and then fluttered up here to this branch. And I just don't know where she went after that. So he may have joined his sister, or maybe where he flew, but he's going to go have a look over there, and I'm going to look. I'm just going to check the construction site. She would have flown fairly high across the road. Seeing as she was up, you like that good English? Seeing as she was up in the tree. So Wevans had both of them this morning, according to Keys, E2. I'm hearing calling over there. It sounds like 23 back in the tree. So I used one of Birdie's beautiful scaps from yesterday. So they got the scissor lift truck. Okay. Oh, there you are. Okay. Hi there. She's on the fence. For yesterday's event scap, event pick. Alright, there's 01. A beautiful, glorious tail. I got a fledgling catbird here. Hi there. You're pretty. So skinny. Alright, I gotta make sure that she doesn't fly back across a road. I mean, if she does, then just make sure that things are copacetic here, traffic-wise. Yep. You're a skinny little catbird. You're a skinny little thing. Yes, you are. Alright. I get it. Hello. Hello. All right, so we're going to show 23. Going to keep an eye on 01. But we're going to show you 023 up on the same light saucer that Wink had his squirrel. The first day. not the first day, but shortly after Fledge. I forget which day it was. And he brought his squirrel up there onto the saucer. All right, so that's 23 up there on the to the right of the Fernow steps. I don't know whether the big cam can see that or not. And 01 is right behind me here. Morning. So we had thunderstorms in the area last night, like so many people, and things came through all right. There was lightning over here toward campus. The 23 is behind me here, and I mean 23 is on the scope, and 1 is behind me on the fence. So I'm keeping an eye on, showing you guys 23 and keeping an eye on 1 in case she decides to fly through the gap here to join her brother. Things are pretty quiet. All right, Anne-Marie, take care. All right, lots of news from Anne-Marie. Yeah, well, I don't know if the live chat is showing up in the archive footage. It's supposed to, but I'm not sure it is. I guess it depends on which platform you watch it on. Again, if you watch it on a computer, I think it shows up. You have the button there for enable the live chat. So at the moment, kind of quiet. Yeah, I was gonna say at the moment there's not a lot of traffic, and so they've got they got this massive valve assembly that they're going to be dropping into the ground there at the corner of Fernow next to the sidewalk. And I guess this is not just some little hookup. This is like a massive piece of steel they've got going over there. And traffic is slow so far. And There's some crew on working, obviously. There's a little bit more activity on the ground around the site. There's a lift truck over here in the northeast corner of the building. They're working on up and down on the parapet and stuff. The crane is down still, but it actually looks like still a fairly reduced crew on site. Jake said that there was going to be an increase this week and that there was going to be some lifting happening, but that's obviously not happening yet today. At some point today, I think they're going to cut, if they're ready, I guess, with a plumbing thing. They will cut part of Tower Road pavement and start trenching across the road. So I think they're going to be closing. It's going to be one-way traffic or one-lane traffic for a bit. So I think they'll excavate and then they'll probably lay one of those heavy metal steel plates across the gap, and then excavate again and lay another steel plate. So I don't know if they'll be working under the plates or if they're just gonna do what they're doing. Obviously, they'll probably drop the trench supports into the hole. Looks like they're bringing in a load of gravel, crushed rock. Show you a little. So they're working over there. It's hard to see in the shadows. There's a front end loader made the turn in there with some crushed rock, and I think the guy said, "No, don't want you coming in this way." You can see the valve. I got a lot of sun shining into my scope here. There we go. So that valve assembly is like almost as tall as a person. It's like really, really big. All right, I'm going back to 23. This 23 is just kind of like hanging. You know what I mean? There you go. Working at the, I think these things are solar. I'm guessing. Or they're, well, maybe not solar, but they got the, the light sensitive thing on them. Light sensor. I'm guessing that's what it is on top. 23, you're a cutie, I gotta say. And off he goes. Just behind me. Where'd he land? There he goes. And I'm sure we're going to do a little bit of a hawk walk here. Straighten the world out of here. It's for fun. Yeah, lots of complaining. Interesting how I can get sharp, crispy lines on the surroundings, but not on the hawk. Hawks are not crispy. And his sister is still sitting quietly on the fence. She's over there. Right between that and that. She's right there. The white little spot. And she is on. So now we got two hawks to worry about. Got this one who's gonna, okay, it's quiet now. If you want to cross the road, either one of you, now would be a good time to do it. Yeah. Cry, oh cry, baby. I don't know, does it get hot in Sweden? Alright, so hang on. So I got, sorry, watching this guy doing this. Got this tiny little lift truck. There we got O1 over there. And he's got this tiny little lift truck that he's just tootling around. What a great little gizmo. Yeah, you can see they're hauling a lot of gravel over there. And there's a, oh, the scissor lift is down. There was a scissor lift up right there. And I think 23 is off the wall and over, oh no. He's on, whatchamacallit. Shit, a little too far. Come on. Thank you. Alright, so he's back on. Trying to fool the camera here a little bit. Alright, so that's where 23 is. And we're going to go back to 1 a little bit. Quiet morning here for these guys. A little bit of this, that, and the other going on here. Site, not a ton of stuff. Peel off another little. This is so high tech, right? Peel off another. That bus is not going super slow. Alright, we gotta check what time it is here. I'm not loving this image here. Wish it were a little bit washed out. That's better. Or will it stay that way? I don't know, we'll see. Alright, let me just catch up a hair on chat. Morning, Barry. Ah. We're in a tree this AM according to yes, according to Wevans. Yeah. We were in T2 this morning before, and then we got here and they were on the bike racks together. Yep, let's not have a bunch of mortality there in Europe like we had 10, 12 years ago in France. It was a disaster. Morning, Ann. Alright, just back out of here. So you can see the truss behind her on the ground. So that's the one they've been on. They had their first prey drop there in the construction site on that truss. It's funny, they were lifting and dropping trusses pretty quickly here over the past few weeks. This last week during the heat was very slow. No lifting, very small crew, mostly welders up working on the trusses that are there. So they really have half of 8 to put up, and they have 9, 10, and 11. So they've got 7.5 trusses up out of a total of 11, and then they'll box in the end of the building like they did the east end. They'll do the west end that way. Most of the roof is on. Yeah, so obviously they don't have the roof on the half truss 8. And they've got the structural stuff. So I'm not sure what they're doing up on the parapet. They got the scissor lifts back there again. They're doing, see those guys there next to the nest tower and the scissor lift. They're up there working on something. Not exactly sure what. From this point of view, it all looks pretty much the same. So I'm not sure what detail it is that they're dealing with. Okay. You gonna be that way? Hello. Thank you. So it's kind of quiet here. And 23 is still on his bike rack. Yesterday we had a lot of excitement there with the heating the handlebars and the brake cables and everything. All very exciting. Good morning. Is that you, Tink? Are you on? I see people saying good morning to folks that I'm not actually seeing on chat. Oh yes, Birdie, I was just running out again. Tell the bus driver to slow down. They've actually been really good. Not the bus drivers so much as it starts getting active a little bit here this morning. Some of these cars do not. Most of the construction workers that are primarily what are the vehicles going on here in the morning are really pretty slow. But these cars go like really fast. Those are the ones that are a pain in the ass. Sorry. Yeah, we're working on temporary speed bumps. We'll see what happens. They have some over on Hoy Road. They've got a lot of them over there. So I'm not sure you're going to go somewhere. I'm not sure if they have any left. So we'd have to see if they can move some of those over here. Here comes the little lifty trucky thing. So pick up that box of stuff. You've got little forklifts on there. Really cute. And one is like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool. Kind of sort of got it on the lift, on the forks. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then off he goes. And back up and then confused. It's like he's putting it back. What do you think? Why is he doing that, O1? I think he might be like repositioning it. Move stuff from here to there. So let's yeah, I'll show you where it's a cute little truck here. She's going to supervise here, I think, a little bit. just his fork width. He's trying not to look at O1. Says, do not make, he's telling himself, do not make eye contact. Looks like he's going to pick up O1. He's going to pick up some pipes here. He's going to be able to lift that thing up over that pallet of whatever it is, waters or something. All right, we'll see. And O1 is obviously in no danger here. Okay. Okay, so one flew safely up over these bushes right there, those light colored bushes, and wound up in, I think, T3 or beyond. I guess picking up the pipes was too much for her. I'm glad she didn't come through here. I'm glad she went over the bushes so that way she was high enough to be okie doke. Alright, I think she's over in Ezra stick tree. She's right there. Ezra stick tree, wink stick tree. Yep. Sorry, I gotta adjust my scope. I have all my controls on the right side. And get up here into the, there she is. Well, she's walked over a little bit since I got over here. There she is. Safe and sound. O1's back over. Cindy. Cindy. O1 is there now. All right. Oh yeah, I got it. We're gonna hang on this side of her though. I prefer to, yeah, we'd get a nice shot of her in front. If I go up on the hill, then I'm gonna stay here because I like being between them and the road, if you know what I mean. You would just have to imagine how beautiful she is. Now we gotta scoot over this way here though. Get little leaves. No, they did not. They were on Atkinson once or twice, just very briefly, and that was it. Mom was more on Atkinson than they were, actually. Interesting. Why she would choose to do that, but morning, Dan. I didn't say morning chirps. How are you? Oh, for sure. So the area where Atkinson was definitely their territory, but later on, when they would go in the parking lot and the California pines and stuff like that. So that was more of a later on kind of deal. But this area here is, and I don't think actually Mom's doing anything in particular to get them over here. I think they're just sort of choosing to be tree birds instead of building birds. I actually don't mind that little tiny lift truck doing its thing there. So if you just joined us, we had both of the chicks. There is a beautiful shot of her. She's going to go fly over. She's coming! She's going to fly right over Cindy. Where did she wind up? Oh, she wound up over there next to her sibling. All right. Flew like literally over Cindy's right shoulder. All right, we're back together again. Gonna do a little bit of bugging or something. Not loving the focus here, but that's okay. Glad to have them over here. This little brother on the left and big sis on the right. Gonna do some bark tossing. There's the brother. There's sister. Nice crop. God, they're funny, aren't they? Yeah, where'd you go? There he is. Got a little bit of clover in the grass. Oh, she's gonna go across the road again. Alright, well, at least there's nobody. There the other one goes across the road. Alright, one of them's up on Truss Support Tower 11, just as everybody was saying. It's nice to see him playing safely there. The answer is yes. Yes, I'm walking slowly. across the road. All right, we got one of them up there. Where'd the other one go? Looks like there's prey up on 11. So why did Mom do that? Or why did Dad do that? I don't know. Fed them over. Easily fed them over. Come on. Adjust phone. Okay. All right, so we got one up there on number 11. All right, so I gotta see who that is. Oh, that's Mom. All right, that's Mom or Dad. Duh. I think that's Mama. There's VR up there. At least that's what it looks like to me. And got a chick. We had a chick down. It's Mom's tower. We had a chick there. Let's back out a little bit. Now, where did it go? Oh, there's a squealy chick there. And I think Mama just took off, and I think we just had a prey drop. Prey exchange up there. Let's see who that is. That would be 23. 23 got the drop. Came in and snagged it from Mom. And I think this is a check. Yeah. 23 got it. And that's a 1 there. On Truss Tower 10. Say, don't know why she brought it over there. Go up to the top and then go over. Number 11. Wow, interesting. Interesting that we would have a prey drop up on top of the construction site instead of over where the kids were. I understand. Why didn't you do it on Fernow Hall or something like that? That'd be great. Right? Well, I'm just thinking decoloration. And where did my 01 go? Somebody's over on. Let me see who that is. That looks like Mom over on Bartell's. She got displaced by O23. The prey drop. Chart on her and then pull back slow. And off she goes. Out of sight. O23 is there, and I've lost track of O1, who's down at the base, near the base of Tower 10. Morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm good.
I see one's there. They both doing well today?
Yeah, they started off again in this tree, I guess, before we got here, and then they were on the bike racks again playing this morning. And then one of them came over, and then they came back, and they were playing again over there, and then they both flew over because there's Mom, I think, over on the on Bartels on the top. I don't know if you can see her from where you are.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, that's Mama. So she brought a prey drop and put it on the last tower. So that's O2 up there.
Yeah.
And O1 was down near the base of the next tower over just a moment ago, but I don't know where she went. So I'm kind of surprised that that Mom brought the prey back over to here when the kids were over here. I mean, she could have easily put it on
Anywhere over
Emerson or
Right.
Fernow or something like that, which everybody would be happier with.
here. This is her new territory. It's been too quiet the last week, so that's the trouble.
I know, but the problem is that they're crossing the road. Yesterday we had a near miss on O1,
Yeah.
and this morning they one after another they flew across the road. Fortunately, there was a bus coming, but it was still enough of the way down the road that it was okay. But they just decided to go, and you know.
Huh. Well. They're surviving.
They are.
Which is a good thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. They're adapting to their
Environment.
exactly. I don't know.
Quite interesting
It,
here.
it is. I mean, you know, thinking about it. I mean, I'm glad that they. Oh, there goes Mom. I'm glad that they are doing that, but I guess I'm glad that they were choosing to go to the trees again this morning and stuff like that, which is nice.
Yeah.
But still,
There they are over there.
I know this is all they've known. This sort of hybrid environment.
Right. It's going to change here whenever they start going back again.
I know. Well, they're going to start. They're going to cut up the road, I think, today if they get that valve in
Okay.
over there, that massive thing they got laying out there on the drive. So then they're going to cut one half lane at a time. I mean, one lane at a time, and hook it into whatever they got going on this side.
Gotcha.
So that's going to happen there. And then supposedly, even though it's been like really quiet today, they said there was going to be an increase in the crew. Last week it was mostly, there was no lifting and it was mostly just welders. This week they're supposed to be increasing the crew size and doing some lifting. So, but it looks, I mean, honestly, it looks like they only have one truss, the half truss for number 8, set up for lifting. So, I don't know. The lifting has slowed down.
Yeah,
A lot.
A lot. I noticed that. It's like lack of material or what it is.
I don't know, or well, I mean, the heat was pretty bad last week,
so
and
obviously,
but still, I guess maybe it's just the way things are working out in terms of timing.
Sure.
They're doing they did a lot of welding last week. And they were doing quite a bit of parapet work on the east side, sort of getting that. So I'm guessing there's gizmos and gadgets that they have to attach.
Before they get going too much further,
To the building.
The sequences we don't know about.
Exactly. The little bits and bytes that they have to put on the building to keep it going. I find it interesting though that they have that they only have diagonals. And I don't know if that's just structurally or aesthetically. But you know, like they had the verticals and they had the cross members, but they only have some diagonals in some squares.
Right. Yeah, I know. Most structures need those diagonals.
Right.
So where they need them, I don't know.
I don't know. It's interesting because they have to. It's not something they actually like applied afterwards.
Right.
When they drop the parapet and stuff like that, they dropped the diagonals in there and swung them out and bolted them in at the same time. So, and there's like no attachments on any of the other bases of the parapets. For the, you see the flange there.
Yeah.
For the diagonal, but none of the other ones have got.
Right. They don't. They do that.
They don't have.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's funny how the engineering figured this all out.
Yeah, I know. It's funny. Sometimes the building looks big. Sometimes it looks not that big.
Not that big. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when you actually are like up higher, you can see that. It still might be deceiving. It's at least as tall as Bartell's, and maybe the interior space is as tall as Bartell's.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. Hard to tell. All right. Well, I got to check the time here.
Yeah.
All right, man. Same. See ya. All right, so I don't know where so Mom is gone. She was on Bartell. She took off, headed west. We've got 23 up on Tower 11. And 01 is over there somewhere. So I think we're gonna head out a bit here. They're both over there, and that's where there goes another bird. So that was either Dad or Mom just flew over 23 to the south of her, going east to west, and landed up on Weill. All right, you guys, we will see you. We got to get going to the W. So she's up there, and 01 was down there on that tower, but I don't see her. And Big Red was, after her parade drop, she went that way, and then she landed on Bartell's, and then went behind, and then popped up over there, and then went west. And she maybe she flew around, and somebody came from the east just now and landed up on Weill. So I'm not sure who's who as far as adults go at this point. But 01 is over there somewhere, and 23 is up there getting prey, and you guys think that it might be squirrel, so that's cool. All right, so we'll see ya. Have a good Tuesday morning.